So certainly we want to take an opportunity just to engage collectively in a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters in California on the West Coast. If you have been with the news at all, you all know what's happening, what happened and is happening there. So if we would just take this moment of silence, letting love flow through us, transcending distance, time. Yes. And so it is. Today, during the tithes and offerings, I would like to ask if you'd like to give. We'll do a collection. We've done it in the past for other centers, locations who have had some sort of a major kind of event. And so I'd like to do it again. Please identify any giving towards that, saying that it's for, the centers in California. Centers for Spiritual Living, the organization that we are part of, they have put something together where you can easily go online to give. So we'll be giving to the centers there in California, and there are lots of centers in California, in the LA area. All right, so let us get into the message this morning. I just want to say that, we never come together with the readings and the music we never really collaborate. But this morning, things have come together so perfectly well. The readings, the meditation, the treatment, the music really has said everything I was going to say this morning. So you'll get a double dose of the message this morning then. I like to start off the messages with reading a few spiritual principles, actually titled What We Believe by Ernest Holmes. You can do a search online for What We Believe by Ernest Holmes to get a copy of it, or you can certainly sign up to be on our mailing list, and you'll get a copy of the spiritual principles that we read I like to bring into the message each Sunday. This morning we are working with spiritual principle number 1, and it states, we believe in God, the living spirit, almighty one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. Spiritual principle number 7, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. It is this truth then that moves us into spiritual principle number 8. We take this truth, this direct revelation, because we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress, truth. It receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. So, our theme for the month is understanding. And our theme for the year, a day at a time, oneness. And so this month, our focus is on the ancient teachings found in New Thought. Also found in the Science of Mind textbook. Ernest Holmes has stated explicitly that the science of mind is no special revelation. He found truths in the ancient texts and in his study of great mystics, and he made that truth his own. And he said, we too should take truth where we find it and make it our own. And the way to make truth your own is to understand it. Because it is the truth that you understand. It is the truth that you know becomes the truth that sets you free. So don't be tripping about where the truth comes from, in other words. Take it wherever you happen to find it. Because the truth is the truth, is the truth, is the truth. So, last week we said that a mind, your mind and my mind, infused, ingrained, imbued, and invested in truth is one with God. Your mind and my mind imbued with good, invested in good, ingrained in good, is one with God. A mind imbued with truth binds us to what's infinite and good. So, it's from here then that we can begin to see what's possible in our life rather than what's impossible in our life. Here we have an invitation to begin to see the great potentiality within each one of us and to diminish our fears. Because what you are invested in, you become. If you are invested in truth, then you'll be able to say, as Jesus said, I am the truth. But it's only if you are invested in the truth. So, if you are invested in good, as Ernest Holmes explains in the Science of Mind textbook in the introductory section of the book in part 2, the way it works, he says that what is true, what all the great mystics and all of the great ancient texts have said is that there is good available to us all. And as much of this good as you can receive is yours to experience. So, just as we have to be invested in the truth, we have to be invested in good. That much good, the good that you're invested in, the good that you're imbued, ingrained in, can think about, that much good is yours. So, when we are invested in truth, we become our true selves. And when we become our true selves, we attain what Ernest Holmes says in the spiritual principle, we attain freedom, which is the ultimate goal of each of us. To live a life where we are so fully expressed, so authentic in our beingness, and so aware that we are at choice. That is what freedom is, according to Ernest Holmes and the Science of Mind textbook. This freedom that I'm talking about is freedom from all discord of every nature. All discord of every nature. The thing about this freedom, though, is you must choose this freedom. The thing about this freedom that I'm talking about is not only must you choose this freedom, if you desire to be free, then the other requirement then is that you set everybody else free. It's requirement. You set everybody free so they too can express their authenticity, so they too can live the life that they desire to live. Its requirement is that you set people free. The people who hurt you, the people who caused you great pain, that you set them free. Its requirement is that you set yourself free of the circumstances and the situations that you find yourself in that you might deem not good. the people who hurt you, the circumstances that didn't quite turn out the way that you'd like for them to turn out. This freedom that I'm talking about, this freedom that Ernest Holmes talking about, two requirements. You must choose it, and you must set everybody free. You should tell your neighbor, set them free. Tell your other neighbor, set them free. Set them free. Set them free. This is not, or shall I say, this is one of the most difficult aspects of this teaching. It is to set others free so that you may be free. I'm saying it, but I know that it's not easy. But if you never, but you will never know it if you don't do it. You'll never know this freedom that I'm talking about if you never set others, and I do mean all others, and I do mean every situation, I do mean every circumstance, set them free. It's the most difficult part of the teaching. It's not easy to let go of who and what you think is the source of your pain. It's not easy to let it go. It's not easy to let go of what you consider to be the source of chaos and confusion in your life. It's not so easy to do. It's not so easy to stop blaming others. It's not easy to do. And I'm not saying that it is easy to do. But what I am saying, as Ernest Holmes said, as the ancient text said, and the mystics of the world has said, that there is good available to us all. This good, yeah, they're talking about material good, but they're also mostly talking about spiritual good. That which is eternal and everlasting always is, was yesterday, is today, and will be tomorrow. Things that are without opposites. They're talking about joy and beauty and love and truth. This good. As much as you can understand and as much as you can receive, you can have. As much as you can understand it, as much as you can receive it, you can have it. It's not easy to let go of thinking that you have to protect yourself in some way from those who hurt you. It's not easy. It's not easy. But this becomes a very important point to consider when we understand that we are divine. Ernest Holmes, last week in part 1 of the introductory section, he said that we are divine. We partake of the nature, we partake in the nature of what is divine. We partake in the nature of God. We are God-like. So when we understand that we are divine, that we live in a spiritual universe, this point becomes so very important. When we understand the truth that God is in, through, and around us, this becomes a very important point to consider, to set them free. When we understand that our mind and our ability to think is our superpower, this becomes an important point to consider, set them free. When we understand that what we think and what we feel creates our world, when we come to understand that what we think and what we feel is subjected to the law of mind, and this law of mind is invisible, it's everywhere. It is no respecter of persons. The law of mind is everywhere. It is always, always, always taking in what you think and what you feel and is saying, okay, it's yours. Say less. Always, always. So when we understand that, then we have to consider, as I said, setting others free. Because what we think and what we feel is subject to the law of mind. In part 2 of the introductory section on page 38, I wanted to read a little bit about what Ernest Holmes says. He says in this particular passage on page 38 titled, "How Much Can We Believe?" He says that we must go the way of the law is a fundamental tenet of this science, because nature obeys us as we first obey it. And our obedience to it is our acceptance of it. How much can we believe? As much as we can believe will be done unto us. When the consciousness speaks, the law receives and executes. When a farmer plants a seed, he invokes the law. That which follows is done by the mechanical side of nature, which has no volition of its own. Involution is the cause, and evolution is the effect. When a practitioner thinks or gives treatment or makes a prayer, they are dealing with involution, the first step of creative order. This is what the Bible calls the word. That which follows is evolution, or the unfoldment of the word or concept into objective existence. He says, we are all thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We're surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. Call it whatever you want to call it. It is the sum total of all our thought, will, purpose, and belief. And it creates a tendency in the law of mind that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. If then certain specific ways of thought and belief have produced limitations, other beliefs will change them. We must learn to believe. The approach should be direct and it should be specific. This is true for all of us, that we must go by the way of the law. The problem is that many of us have limited thinking. The law knows nothing of little nor small, good or bad. It just simply knows to execute upon what you are thinking and what you are feeling. So, as the reading suggested, it is done unto us then as we believe. One more reading from part 2 in the Science of Mind textbook. I'm reading now from pages 36 and 37. In it, Ernest Holmes says, he says that original life is infinite. It is good. It is filled with peace. It is the essence of purity. It is the ultimate of intelligence. It is power. It is law. It is life. It is in us. In the inner sanctuary of our own nature, hidden perhaps from objective glaze, nestles the seed perfection. In our ignorance of truth, we have misused the highest power we possess. And so great is this power, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer. We are bound because we are first free. The power which appears to bind us is the only power in the universe which can free us. This is why Jesus summed up his whole philosophy in this simple statement. It is done unto you as you believe. The great teacher looked so deeply into nature that she revealed her fundamental simplicity to him, that believe and as symbolize heaven and hell. And so we suffer not because suffering is imposed upon us, but because we are ignorant of our true nature. His focus on as and believe. And our focus should also be on that it is done unto you, as you believe. You, as you believe. It's not done unto you as I believe. It is done unto you as you believe. As you believe. Let me just give it to you real quick. What he's saying here, just 2 or 3 words to summarize it. Either create the life you desire or settle for the life you got. He wrote a whole book to say that. Create the life you desire or settle for the life you have. That's it, folks. Create the life you desire or settle for the life that you have, because it is done unto us as we believe. It's here that I should make a distinction. There's a difference between what we say we desire and what we believe. You might say one thing while believing another thing. In part 2 of the introductory section of the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes calls that a house undivided. Divided, a house divided. Okay? There's a difference between what you say you want and what you think and feel. What you think and you feel is what you believe. So if you say you want peace, but you are thinking something other than peace, the law of mind will give you something other than peace. It's not that you are being subject to something other than what you are desiring. You just haven't thought about it. You haven't given your opportunity to feel into the thing that you are desiring. It's easy to say that you want peace. It's easy to say that you want love. It's easy to say that you want abundance. It's easy to say that you want prosperity. It's easy to say you want peace. And then when I say, set them free, let them go, the people who hurt you. It's the only way when you see how the law operates. Or you'll settle for the life that you have. It's simple. Practice, forgive, or settle for the life you have. There's a difference. There's a difference in what you say you want and what you think and believe. But what you think about most of the time, or what we think about most of the time, is how we can control others. What we think about most of the time is how we can control situations so that we can protect ourselves. And then this becomes the truth that you know. The thing that you are thinking about, the thing that you are feeling becomes the truth that you know. And as long as you think that there is something that you needed to be protected from, the universe will give you something to protect yourself from. And as long as you think that there is something or somebody, as long as you think that there is somebody, some situation, some circumstance that you need to control, the universe will give you opportunities to try. to try to control. But when you understand the law, you know that we do not use the law to control nor to protect. We use the law to create. We do not use the law to control and protect. We use the law to create. And the only way to create or to become someone new is to come face to face with our judgments. Either create the life that you desire or settle for the life that you have. The only way for us to begin to create the life that we desire is we must come face to face with our judgments and our opinions and our expectations. I'll tell you again, the only way to create is to come face to face with your judgments and your opinions about others and other situations and other circumstances, your judgments about others, what they did or how they doing it or what they did do and they didn't do, how they should have did this. The only way to begin to create the life that you are desiring is to let go. Reverend Sheila used to say, suspend judgment. Let it go. Set them free. Let your opinions go. Set them free. Let your expectations go. Let your expectations go. Let your expectations go and set them free. Either create the life that you are desiring or be quiet and settle for the life you have. That's just the law. It's how it works. And when you understand the way that it works, the reading said we must obey it so that it will obey us. So, come face to face with our judgments, our opinions, and our expectations of others. The great law of life does not ask you, are you sure? You say you want this, you're thinking this, and you're feeling this. Are you sure? It's not going to ask you, are you sure? It's only going to say, sure. That's what you think? Oh, that's your opinion? That's the judgment you're sitting with? Sure. Sure. Here's the thing, though. We only have one garden. And your garden is your garden, and my garden is my garden. And what you are thinking and you're feeling goes into your garden. It's the seed you sow. And the soil, the law, is so absolute and so accurate, it never mistakes an apple seed for a carrot seed. It knows an apple seed, and it is going to produce an apple. It knows if you have judgment, it will produce opportunities for you to live in judgment. It doesn't ask you, are you sure your opinion, what you're thinking about them, are you sure that's what you want to think about? It just says, okay, sure. And it's accurate. It's accurate. It doesn't make a mistake. It's accurate. It's accurate. It's accurate. Oh gosh, I hope you understand that. It's accurate. But here's where we get ourselves tripped up, because we say we want one thing, but we're believing in another thing. And then when we don't get what we say that we want to blame God. We want to question God. No, pray God that you get a place. Pray God that you can get to a place where you can let go. Pray to God that you can get to a place where you can set them free. Pray to God that you can get to a place where you can suspend judgment, set yourself free. Pray to God that you get to a place where you can suspend your opinion about every doggone thing. Pray God. Don't blame God. Pray God that you get to a place where you can see what you have allowed in your life. Get to a place where you pray God that you can see what you continue to allow. What you continue to allow. When we think about creating, the other side of the coin of creating is allowing. Yes, it's allowing. Pray God you get to a place where you can see what you've continued to allow in your life. When we say we want joy, peace, and we hold others in judgment, we think what we know and our opinions have great power. They don't. It's just you divided against yourself, a house divided against yourself. You have given the law nothing to work with. So, settle for the life you have. You've given the law nothing, nada, not a thing to work with. There's nothing to create. Listen, my friends, I'm not saying that this is easy. In no way is it easy, but you can do it. You can do it. You can start to create the life that you desire. You can. You can start to experience more good than you've ever imagined. You can experience more joy than you've ever imagined. You can experience more peace than you've ever imagined. Things can be so clear for you in situations and circumstances that might not have been so clear for you. It can become very clear to you. The law is absolute. It's accurate. When we suspend our opinions and our judgments and get settled into understanding the nature of our power, we can create the life that we desire. And we will create the life that we desire. Let go of your pain of yesterday. Let go of your disappointments. Begin to understand the way this works and work with it. Work it. The thing is once you understand the way that it works, you can no longer deny it. You can no longer deny it. Either create the life you desire or settle for the life you have. Practitioners, join me as we move into a moment of prayer, just to further anchor the word and all that has been sung and said today. Let us take this moment to turn within, to begin to become aware of the power within us, to begin to become aware that we are made in the image and likeness, that we possess such great power and potential within us. Because we are one with the creative stuff. We are one with God. We are one with the universe. And in it, then, we are a representation of it. So let us just accept and unify with it in every way. Let us begin to affirm that its thoughts are our thoughts. Its high and holy ideas and thoughts are my high and holy ideas and thoughts. Let us unify with it in love. Let us unify with it in truth. Let us unify with it in peace. Let us become so one with it that it becomes our life, that we open out a way for it to express in, through, and around us. And in doing so, I affirm for you, as I affirm for myself, that we are just open to a new way of being, that we are committed to creating a greater version of ourselves, that we are committed to truth, that we are committed to the idea that we've not been left here alone to discover ourselves without what we need to do so, that we have not been left here alone without the tools within us to create the life that we desire, so that we can stop settling for the life that we have. I affirm for you, as I affirm for myself, that there is something in me that is so connected to God that in this moment, as accurate as the law is and as instantaneous as the law is, that you and I, we begin to let go of our judgments. We begin to let go of our opinions, that we begin now to let go of our expectations of others, and we set them free, and we too become free. So free in the law to experience more good than we've ever imagined. So free in the law that we become available to the potential and possibilities of our life. That you and I begin to see things as they really and truly are, to see ourselves ourselves as we really and truly are, to see others as they really and truly are, and declare the truth about every situation, every circumstance, every person that you see. I am one with God. I am divine, and everything I see is good. The universe is working for my good, conspiring, in fact, for my good. I speak my word for you as I speak my word for myself. Today, I declare and I decree, I'm committed to setting everybody free. I'm committed to truth. I'm committed to participating and obeying the law as I understand the way it works. I'm committed to being open to the greater good within me, to move me into a place of forgiving and to stop allowing things to happen that I'm not desiring to happen in my life. I'm committed to create the life that I desire, so that I can let go of the life that I've been settling for. I'm grateful in this moment, so very grateful, to be able to speak these words and to know them true. Where there's nothing in me denying it to be so, and everything in me affirming and knowing that it is so. Won't you join me as we just simply gather these words, taking them all in, allowing the words simply to settle into us, where we can no longer tell the difference between the word and the demonstration, where our word truly is made flesh. Let us just claim it to be so now. Now, as we know we are working with a law that is absolute and accurate and immediate. It is done now. Join me in anchoring this word by saying, and so it is. And so as we journey on throughout our week, let me remind you the way that it works is either you create the life you desire or you settle for the life you have. And so it is.